Hello friends, this is Akanksha and you're watching my YouTube channel All About English. We are going to do the editorial for the 16th of April 2018. Two very interesting topics, and the topics which are very much into the news, and we all must know. It is a must for us to know what's going on all around us. So let's begin. The first is your common Commonwealth Games, and what is the India's stand in the games, and what is the medal haul for India. Okay, the medal haul means what actually is going on in India, what India is doing. So let's not forget that. Okay, India has finished with 66 medals, out of which we have 26 gold medals. Now don't forget that the games are going on in Gold Coast, Australia. 2018 Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast, Australia. This is see every these like your Commonwealth Games and your Asian Games happen every fourth year. This is the Australian Gold Coast, and the games are 2018 Commonwealth Games, and the next will be held in 2022. Good. And those games will be held in Birmingham in England. Okay, so don't forget, this time 2018 वाले हो रहे हैं हमारे गोल्ड कोस्ट ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, and 2022 वाले बर्मिंगम इंग्लैंड. सी दिस इज अ वेन्यू नॉट वेरी कॉमन, सो यू कैन ईजिली रिमेंबर कि 2022 वाले हो रहे हैं आपके हमारे बर्मिंगम इंग्लैंड में. ठीक है, इंडिया ने 66 मेडल्स जीते, आउट ऑफ 26 आर गोल्ड, अगेंस्ट द ग्लासगो Scotland against the Glasgow Scotland Commonwealth Games, which took place in 2012 2014. Means 2014 वाले हुए Glasgow Scotland में, अभी वाले 2018 वाले आपके हो रहे हैं गोल्ड कोस्ट ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, एंड 2022 वाले हो रहे हैं इन बर्मिंगम इंग्लैंड में. ओके, तो 2014 वाले जो थे उसमें इंडिया 164 मेडल्स. इस बार 2 मेडल्स का इंक्रीमेंट हुआ है. वी हैव गॉट 66, एंड लास्ट टाइम वी गॉट 15 गोल्ड, एंड दिस टाइम हाउ मेनी गोल्ड्स? वी हैव 26 गोल्ड. मीन्स एन इंक्रीज ऑफ 11 मेडल्स और 11 गोल्ड मेडल्स. And you all know who are the champions and who all have secured India a gold. I have not written all the names, I've only written the new names, because the old ones, the oldies, you already know. You know who the champions are from India. Like you see the 5 times world champion Mary Kom has got it. Sushil Kumar, she has got it in boxing. Then Sushil Kumar has got it. Then we also know a double in badminton doubles. We have Saina Nehwal and PV Sindhu. Then who else? You all must know that in javelin throw we have Neeraj Chopra. So these are the very very important crucial players from India who have managed to secure a gold for India. And then we must not forget the new ones. Like one, we have Mirabai Chanu. Mirabai Chanu is a weightlifter, and she has secured a gold for us. Then we have teenager shooters who have managed to bring a gold for India. They're very important. The name of the guys are very important, because definitely they're going to be asked in one or the other competitive exams. The names are Manu Bhakur and Anish Bhanwala. Two names, Manu Bhakur and Anish Bhanwala. Manu Bhakur and Anish Bhanwala. Okay, and one important game that has emerged in India is that of the table tennis. We must remember that in all the 7 events that were associated with these games, India has managed to secure at least a medal. So they will definitely ask a question as to which game in India, which game in the Commonwealth Games India has secured to get a medal in all of the events associated with that game. The answer will be table tennis. And one very important point about Manika Batra is that she has turned out to be the gold for India in these Commonwealth Games, because she has managed to secure 4 gold medals. And don't forget the game that she's playing table tennis. And who has been the flag bearer for India this time? Flag bearer is MC Mary Kom. Okay, now since we have done about these Commonwealth Games, I've also mentioned a little about the Asian Games. See, you all know that the Asian Games this year 2018 were held in Pyeongchang in South Korea. 2018. Now the next would be held in 2022, and 2022 would be held in Hangzhou, China. Okay, Hangzhou, China. And the 2014 Asian Games were held in Incheon, South Korea. So first 14 Incheon, South Korea, 18 Pyeongchang, South Korea, 2 times South Korea, and 2022 it's a shift, just a little shift from South Korea to China, Hangzhou, China. Now, since we have done Asian Games, we have done Commonwealth Games. How can we leave Olympic Games? See, Olympic Games happen. वैसे तो they happen every 2 years, because once in every second year we have winter, then summer, then winter, then summer. So we know this 2018 February the games have already finished in South Korea and Pyeongchang Olympic Games. Okay, now these were the Winter Olympics, and the Winter Olympics were itself also held in Asian Games, South Korea, Pyeongchang. In 2020 we have Japan. We have the games in Japan, Tokyo. 2022 we have in Beijing, China. See, South Korea, then Japan, then Beijing, and then to Europe. See, South Korea, then South Korea finished. Then we are going from South Korea, we're going to Japan, and from Japan we are jumping to China. So 2018, then 20 on the 2018 in the center, 2020 on the east, and 2022 on the west. Means South Korea, Japan, and China. And 2024 we are going to France in Europe. Okay, 2024. See, now you must have also think that okay, these important, the most important games for us these days are the Olympics, Winter and Summer Olympics, Paralympics also, and we also have Asian Games. But what is the requirement for these Commonwealth Games? They're just they only show portray the colonial rule of the Britishers and all, and so but the point here is they act as a stepping stone to greater sporting glory for all of us. So they only actually help us to improve our performances, and to and to sharpen our skills, to polish our skills, and to develop into good and budding players. So that is all about this editorial. The next is on US strikes on Syria. See, I've already explained this issue before in one of my lectures. So you can just see the headlines lecture that I've given for the 14th, I guess. In those I've explained this. Now, first, we all know that a civil war is going on in Syria, and recently some chemical strikes have taken place in um, in Dama. That's a place near Damascus. Okay, so that has led to chaos, and left the left the public I don't know, unaccountable for anything that has happened. Nobody is actually knowing who is the main culprit, because no point is clear. Now, we know that in Syria we have Bashar al-Assad's government, and we do not know the kind of military he is depending upon, and what kind of efforts or actions they are taking to stop the chaos and to stop the violence and the violent activities going on within the country. And we also have learned that okay, US is an ally of Bashar al-Assad's government. Sorry, I'm very sorry, that Russia is an ally of Bashar al-Assad's government, and they're taking major or minor steps towards the stopping of this war that's going on, and that has been running in Syria for the past 7 years, and that has led to death of around 4 lakh people. 4 lakh civilians have been brutally killed because of the aftermath of the war, or because of the war that is actually running even today. So recently, chemical weapons were used to just disturb these civilians, or to kill several of them. Now, the point that has emerged in this entire scene is as to why was the chemical weapon why were the chemical weapons used, and who is the person, or who is the what are the powers involved in providing them with the chemical weapons. And very important point is as to why did this such a scene get created, as to they have to strike with chemical weapons. That entire the entire community, the entire people are just getting displaced. They are crying everywhere. There's chaos, and the people are just crying out for help. They're left with nothing. Families destroyed, areas plundered, homes demolished, nothing left for the people. So this is the situation in Syria. You all have learned now, you because considering the chemical strikes that were done, now what a step that has been taken by US is that US has actually led to do missiles, has adopted, or has turned to striking missiles over those areas where they have got information from the information agencies, or information bureau, that okay, these are the pockets, these are the areas where chemicals have been kept, and this is from there that they are being dispersed. The okay, so they are being disbursed, sorry, there have been disbursement has been done. So the US has actually has fired missiles in those areas and actually plundered the entire areas. But the point is, when you are putting in strikes and missiles, then actually some harm is done to the civilians as well. But and at the same time, how can you be that pretty sure that that the strikes are going at the right target? They're striking the target. And one more point, very important, is it's not still proven that the chemical strikes were actually done in Damas, near in the areas near Damascus. So the US had is actually taking a stand, which, okay, that none of the no violence against the civilians is going to be tolerated. That is, they have a zero tolerance policy towards the brutal assaults that have been done to the civilians. But at the same time, it is also being said that US must have waited for some time. It would have waited for as I've said, for for the for the for the Organization for Prohibition of Chemical Weapons to kindly completely investigate the matter and come out with some reports, and then actually submit those reports to the United Nations Security Council. And then the United Nations Security, UNSC, would have come up with some results, with some conclusions. Okay, this has been done. So actually, what we want to say here is that once the matter was was like stamped, or you stamped by the Organization for Prohibition of Chemical Weapons and investigated completely by United Nations Security Council, only this US should have opted for those strikes. Actually, what US has here done is it has flouted the international laws. And US, along with its allies, UK and France, it's been said that the missiles have been fired by US ally Britain. So we actually are not sure as to what's going on and what is this terror kind of situation that's prevailing in Syria. Syria is war struck and completely plundered. The situation is heartbreaking. You just cannot imagine the kind of life people are leading in Syria. Syria used to be such a beautiful country. It has such a beautiful history, and the kind of assaults being done on the people is completely not understandable. So we already told you 4 lakh civilians have been left dead. And military is, I don't know what it's doing. Now, actually, what the world needs here is, we actually need to put an end to the Syrian war, because it's really too much. It's too much of it, and we need to put an end to it. Now, the world has to get united, instead of separating into powers and leading to a cold war or a third world war, which we actually don't know if it exists or not. But we must unite, and instead of doing a unilateral politics, we must actually move forward and get into a multilateral democracy and try to get united, and lead somewhere Syria. Because the kind of people who are getting refugees from the country, the displacement of people, everything is not what is expected from a country like Syria. It used to be a ground for people who used to not live, and they used to live so happily. So we also pray for the peace that would come in Syria, and we just want that US and Russia must come together as a bloc and just work for the welfare of the Syria and associated nations after coming under the UN mandate. So that was all for the editorial. I think this was very important for all of us, and it once you understand the editorial, I think just note on the points if you want, because several questions will be framed. I think that it's important for all of us to understand the Olympic, the Asian Games, the Commonwealth Games. So this was all for the editorial. This is the Kanksha Gupta signing off. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching the video.